Recycling, recommendations for Sandy Neck, a big drill at the airport, and what's next for the Armory, all on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Tuesday, October 16th, 2012. I'm Sarah Colvin. In addition to working on public outreach for the future of solid waste disposal in Barnstable, the town's Renewable Energy Commission is also exploring new ways in which to recycle. Right now, glass, paper, plastic, metals, and other materials are recycled here in town, but what to do about fabrics? Energy Coordinator Richard Elrick is interested in the future of textile recycling in Barnstable. He spoke to the Renewable Energy Commission Monday night and says the county is also interested in exploring this issue.
I got another email from Dave Quinn, again our regional coordinator for the county, and he essentially said with respect to textile recycling, I'm really interested in partnering with towns and vendors to develop a textile recycling outreach campaign tailored to the Cape. This might include PSAs, multi-town zero waste days that include textile recycling bins and promotions, newspaper articles, or school textile recycling and fundraising toolkits. I spoke with Paul Curry of Bay State Textilers over the summer, and he's interested in partnering with the county or towns on this effort and would help defray some of the costs. Any thoughts that the rec members have would be much appreciated, and I just wanted to cite a couple of statistics. Statewide, more than 230,000 tons of usable textiles are sent to the landfills or are incinerated. 5 to 7% of municipal solid waste is usable textiles. So for Barnstable, our MSW averages about 9,500 tons a year, so 6% of that, fully 570 tons of our MSW are usable textiles.
Elrick says this spells opportunity for Barnstable in terms of reducing its waste stream.
95% of used textiles can be recycled, and the average Massachusetts resident throws away 70 pounds a year in old clothes, shoes, and other recyclables. So, for example, the kinds of things that can be recycled from textiles. And again, most people think of textiles when you go to your Salvation Army, you want to give something that somebody else can wear, but you don't need to do that. Anything that you have that's of textile nature, except for carpets and mattresses and rags, say, that have oil or grease on them, can be thrown into those bins. And we're talking about belts and boots, coats, bedding, pajamas, pants, table linen, sweatshirts, ties, everythand that's made up of
single shoes. It doesn't have to be a pair.
That's right. It doesn't have to be a pair. So anything can go into those bins that we see. And even Barnstable, takes clothing at its transfer station. So the problem is people don't think of textiles as a recyclable product, and that's really our challenge, is to get out and to continue to do some education on that topic. But it's nice that the county would like to assist the towns in moving in this direction.
The future of textile recycling remains to be seen in Barnstable. Meanwhile, the board continues to work on its public outreach and education on pay-as-you-throw and curbside pickup. Turning our eyes toward the beach, the Sandy Neck Board met last night. Beach Park Manager Nina Coleman provided an update on a number of items, including new hours for the gatehouse and the success of the recent coast sweep.
So, the gatehouse hours are now Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 9 to 5. There is staff available for folks that need to come to the gatehouse on other days, but it's by appointment only. We are still staffing, but now our curfew's at 8, so our days are shortened. I do want to remind everybody that the pheasant hunt has begun. We started stocking on Saturday. We'll be stocking on Saturday mornings, very early, and Monday nights. Those are the days we get the animals we do stock, and those are pretty heavy hunting days. Saturdays and Tuesdays are our big hunting days, and we do recommend people not hike the bat trails. They certainly can, but those are pretty busy. Other hunts have started as well. We have duck and coyote, I believe, already, but that's the big one for Sandy Neck. We did have Coast Sweep last weekend. So everything kind of all started on the same day. Coast Sweep was on Saturday, and it was very cold and very windy, and we still had about 30 people show up.
Right.
We had Boy Scouts, and we also had a bunch of people from Cape Singles, which is a group that uses our beach a lot. We had a great coast sweep. We got a lot of junk off the beach.
Yeah.
It blows me away how much junk is out there. Even when you look at it, it looks clean, but no, it's not clean.
There's stuff.
There's a lot of stuff. And
There's a lot of stuff.
the best way to get the garbage out of the ocean is not to be raking it all up, but to pick it up one piece at a time. And it takes a lot of people. And the big thing about Coast Sweep is collecting the data so that there can be some international discussions about the junk we're putting into the ocean and what we're manufacturing. So it was a really positive day, and I appreciate everybody who came out.
Coleman also outlined her recommendations for change for the 2013 season.
Implement the parking plan year-round. So I wanted to show you those slides when we started to have free choice again. Some of those those problematic issues came up. The portable toilet issue, the campers parking in areas that are probably more appropriate for day trippers. I think we're at the place now with the amount of users we have on this beach that we need to have designated areas for day trippers. And those would be the narrow sections of beach, even if we aren't presently in a closure. So that's my recommendation. Create motorhome parking areas that are appropriate for the extremely large RVs. I know this needs to have a lot of discussion, but we have 35-plus foot motorhomes on our beach.
You can watch the entire Sandy Neck board meeting online at town.barnstable.ma.us. Be aware a big emergency drill is planned for this Thursday at the Barnstable Municipal Airport. Airport staff, local emergency responders, police, fire, and more will convene at the airport Thursday evening for a full-scale emergency drill. Barnstable Deputy Chief of Police Craig Tamish talked about the drill on today's episode of Barnstable This Morning.
It's going to be a major drill. Every 3 years, the airport is required to conduct an actual on-the-ground drill. We do assist with that. Our main function is to provide security and traffic control. As you know, we have an officer that is assigned to the airport whenever the airport is open. In a situation like this, obviously we would bring in additional people, just as if there were an actual plane crash, we would have to respond to that. So our job is to provide security, to maintain the integrity of the airport, and assist the ambulances and fire trucks with getting in and out of the airport as necessary.
The drill takes place on the airport's east ramp from 5 to 8 this Thursday night. Well, just what will fill the now empty Hyannis Armory remains to be seen, but Director of Growth Management Joanne Miller-Buntich says response to the recently issued request for interest has drawn a number of responses.
A lot of ideas for the future use of the building. And some they're posted actually, I think, on the website. Cape Cod Art Association, Cape Cod Museum of Art, the Arts Foundation of Cape Cod responded in a way that they would describe a supporting role that they could provide. We received also from the JFK Museum and from a gentleman that proposes to develop a new entity to run the Witta Museum out of the Armory. The Witta is a former slave ship that was used by Mad Jack Bellamy, the pirate, and they've traveled around the Cape to various communities to find a new home for this exhibit, which is now in Provincetown.
Buntich says a request for proposals may soon be issued. A recently completed report outlines the possible future use of the Armory as an arts and culture complex. You can learn more about the submitted interest as well as read the report on the Armory online at town.barnstable.ma.us. With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.